My grandpa was a teacher his entire career. It was something I had done when I was little. You would play school, and it was just, I just knew I wanted to become a teacher. It was so great working with the kids, and you'd be like, okay, here's 2 and here's 3. How many are there all together? And they'd get it, and you were like, wow, I did that. I did that with them. It was just like, yep, this is what I was meant to do. I got a job at a local school. Felt like it was a perfect fit, and people I worked with were really great. I became really close with another teacher who later became my teaching partner. Her name was Courtney Bean. She's been going to GCC for I don't know how long. I did not grow up in the church. It was not something that was part of our family. She would come in and say, oh, you should come with me. You should come with me to service. Oh, you should. And I'm like, no, I don't want to hear that. She's like, yeah. But listen, this Sunday we talked about da-da-da. And I'm like, So don't you want to come? No. And we became very, very close teaching together. And then COVID hit. And then things kind of rapidly got worse. It was incredibly overwhelming. It was like a huge, heavy workload. That's overwhelming. That's stressful. And then you're at school, and then you go home and you have to plan and grade, and you've got parents and kids, the people you work with, that are telling you you're not doing enough. It's not good enough. You're a horrible teacher. Like, nobody likes you. It's just like, it's a lot. It got so dark. It was the darkest point that I've ever felt in my life. So I thought, this is enough. I can't do this anymore. I have to make a change. I leave and go to a different district. Things are already better. And it was December. A student comes in with this gift for me. So I open it up, and it's a Bible. And I'm like, oh boy. And so I read the card. It says something about, your name was put on my heart. I hope you find as much wisdom in this as I did. And I'm freaking out. What have I done that this parent thinks that I need this, that I need Jesus? So I get home that night and I call Courtney. She thinks it's hilarious. Of all the people, I would get the Bible, and she just thinks it's great. I'm like, yeah, what am I supposed to do with it? She's like, read it. I put it on my shelf, and there it sat. 3 weeks later, maybe, I get an email from a different parent inviting me to the women's retreat. And so once again, I called Courtney, and I'm telling her about this, and she's like, you should come. And I was like, well, what's the worst that can happen? So I said, yeah, and I went. And I had a great time. I knew I was going to be uncomfortable, but I realized that the church was incredibly welcoming. And then Courtney calls about 2023, January. My life group is doing this Bible study right now. Do you want to come to it? I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Why? Sure. And I went every Tuesday. And we meet every Tuesday, and you have this group of women. And when life gets overwhelming and complicated, and everybody's busy and with work and family and whatever, you still have that time every week that you're gonna go meet each other. It's so relaxing and so uplifting. And we all went to the women's retreat this year together. At the retreat, I had decided, like, I am in. The Sunday service after we came back from the women's retreat is when they put up those big crosses. And I got in line to go up and wrote down on my paper that I was all in, and nailed that up on the cross. I've given myself to Christ, and I can feel his love in return. I know he's here with me, and I feel so much less anxiety and more comfort in knowing that now. I love my job again. I have fun. I'm doing things that I haven't done in years. He worked through all these different people at a point in my life when I needed him the most. It's so interesting because when it's happening, you can't really see it, you know? And then when you step back and look at it, it's all there. It's like a web, you know? It's just all there, and it's so cool. When I was given the Bible, when I was asked to go to the women's retreat, when I was invited to the life group, each of those times I was uncomfortable. I knew I was going to feel vulnerable. But just taking that step, taking that risk, had so many rewards for me. Yeah, there's going to be times when you're uncomfortable and when you feel vulnerable, but it's worth it.